maybe if I'm not mistaken, since winning promotion and step by step setting certain goals and achieving certain goals, and maybe even I heard him speak a couple of times saying they've achieved even beyond the time frames that they had set for themselves.
Kickoff is 3 p.m. At the same time, the Premier League will see Aston Villa looking to further cement fourth spots and taking on Brighton, Chelsea facing West Ham. Then the inconsistent Liverpool plays the struggling Spurs. Return fixtures saw the Reds have a first half goal by Luis Diaz ruled out for an offside by VAR after miscommunication between the video officials and the assistant referees. Jurgen Klopp admits it's been playing on his mind.
I don't want to make it the biggest subject, but I can't forget the Tottenham game as well. It's just so strange. And so now we play Tottenham, and that was obviously not their fault that night. They just played the game. But I would like to win that game for 500 reasons. That we lost there and the way we lost is one of them.
Kickoff is at 5:30. In cricket, there's a doubleheader at the IPL with the Kings and CSK meeting. After that, Lucknow takes on KKR. International cricket sees Bangladesh and Zimbabwe playing the second T20 of their series, while at the Women's T20 World Cup qualifiers semi-final stage with Ireland taking on Scotland and Sri Lanka meeting the UAE. In tennis, the Madrid Open men's final sees Andrei Rublev facing off against Felix Auger-Aliassime. Rublev has explained how he's played himself into form.
Almost every week we have a chance, or at least every month for sure. The season also on top of that is very long, and it's normal to have up and downs. So the good thing when you have too much downs, in one moment you should go up. I guess this was the week.
Iga Swiatek won the women's title last night. In F1, Max Verstappen is on pole for the Miami Grand Prix, lights out at 10 p.m. In cycling, Jonathan Narvaez has won the opening stage of the Giro d'Italia. Anthony Teixeira, Eyewitness News Sport.
Breathtaking destinations, colorful cultures, and people with a whole lot of fears. We are a world in one country, and for 30 years, we have embraced our freedom, our South Africa, our democracy, thanks to our heroes and heroines. The last 30 years may have shown us hardships and disappointments, but it's also shown us triumphs.
It is there my honor to hereby declare the elections as free and fair.
In it all, we found a way to get through it together. On the road to elections 2024, let's reflect on how far we've come.
1994 was a miracle that we thought was impossible.
And we are a resilient people, a caring people, a people that celebrate 30 years of democracy. For everything you need to know about elections 2024, stay tuned to 702 and go to primemediaplus.com and ewn.co.za.
This is an ad break brought to you by Pineapple. Breakover. No nonsense insurance, go to pineapple.co.za. Underwritten by Omart Insure Limited, a licensed non-life insurer and authorized FSB.
ENCA's election coverage is heating up as we build up to Election Day on May the 29th. Poverty, crime, unemployment, electricity, water, the housing crisis, and the state of our political parties. Your cross could be the critical choice. So tune into ENCA for all your up-to-date election news, coverage, and analysis on ENCA GSTV channel 403 and ENCA.com.
Harold and Ed's hotline. Heather on the line.
Harold, I didn't get anything for my mom last Mother's Day.
And how did that end?
With me doing handstands in the shower.
Not a position I'm familiar with.
She drowned my dinner with ghost pepper chili sauce.
I see. Ugh, you know I can't unsee.
What should I do this year?
Get out of the shower and go online. Send her some beautiful blooms from Net Florist. Order before 9 May and they'll include some Freeland chockies. Net Florist, it's easy to show your care.
Emperor's Palace, in partnership
partnership with Prime Media, are proud to announce the return of the Johannesburg World Festival of Food and Drink. Explore a fusion of international and local street food, drink, entertainment, and so much more. You don't want to miss it. Happening at Empress Palace from 25 April to 5 May. Tickets start at 60 Rand for kids 3 to 12, 120 Rand for pensioners, 150 Rand for kids 13 plus and adults.
Emperor's Palace, the palace of dreams.
And now,
It's back to Goose and Sugar.
on 702.
Is she trying to plan? Is it a surprise? Is she a good one? Down for the fight. Lanes were crossed 100 times. They brought us in, put a tag on a fight. It takes a toll.
When we see a lot of patriotism, when we see specific social things coming back. And I think in my life, like migration has played a huge part. Like my grandparents moved, my parents moved. So I think I just wanted to create something that was meaningful for my family patterns and things that reoccur in my family as well.
And so it's not, and also that sounds quite, quite deeply personal. So this process of making music that's complete strangers, people you don't know, people who may not know, the details that, or the stories that you share. But I imagine it was quite, well, maybe that is the question. Was it quite difficult to do this very personal piece of work that was ultimately going to be for public consumption?
I forget often that I have to sing the songs out loud.
Yeah.
I think there's such a power in being vulnerable. I think we consume a lot of music that's maybe sometimes less vulnerable, but I think there's such a power in honest feelings, in just sharing what's on your mind. So I think sometimes it gets a little bit hard, also on stage, but I do get a sense of courage. I feel very much like resilient when I share my story.
And I think it's quite interesting that the genre, well, I guess the core genre, one of the genres you make music in is R&B, which I think is going through such an interesting time, not just locally in South Africa, but I think globally. There's even been questions about, do we still have R&B artists in the way that we know them? And as someone who's making music in that space as one of your genres, how would you describe the state of R&B?
I think it's thriving. I think with Coco Jones, with like so many artists are making incredible R&B. So I think it's a very lively genre at the moment. I think it's even more maybe lively than hip hop.
And do you think that when we speak about R&B, we're also kind of stuck in a particular time, in a particular sound? Because of course, if you were an 80s baby or a 90s baby, or even if you grew up in the 70s, what you consider R&B is going to be very different to what is R&B now. And I often think when we speak about R&B, we're speaking about particular times.
Yeah,
we're speaking about
so
90s R&B, but that doesn't necessarily mean we don't have 2020s R&B.
Yeah, and I think also pop music from now has a lot of R&B influences in there as well, because it just evolved and sounds different than the pop music from the 90s. So I think music is changing every few years, maybe every year. So I think there's a lot to grasp and to listen to.
Yeah. And recently you released a new single called Don't Answer. And one of the descriptions I read, how it was being described, was a masterful blend of introspective depth and uplifting rhythms that marks a significant moment in her evolving musical journey. And that's a lot. So tell us,
big word.
Lots of words, but tell us about Don't Answer.
It's a song that is just inspired about standing up for yourself. I think a lot of times we deal with the world, and like myself, like I pay a lot of attention of like, oh, can you respond to this email? Can you do this quick? And I sometimes forget that I have needs and needs myself as well. So I think the song is just an anthem for self-care and just put your phone on mute for an hour and you will be fine, and take your time. That's the message of the song.
And also, I saw the song also being described as a window into your soul, and also about being about a message of self-respect and empowerment. Tell us about that.
Yeah, I think it's so important for people to be in tune with our own feelings. And for me, this is such an important pattern that.
Yang. Alin, wetang. Wetang. Okay, didn't tang today. Wetang today. Okay. Sharp, sharp.
Tell us about that EP, what kind of themes you're dealing with, the sound on that EP. Where are you in terms of the creative process?
I think it are all songs that either are very personal or reflect on historical events from the Netherlands, from SA as well. I think it's like very much a journey of getting more dialogue and self-awareness about the world in song. So the next song is Poster Child, and it's about a painting. And there's another song coming on the EP that's about Hamilton Naki, a former surgeon who worked during apartheid. And I think his story is just very interesting, how he dealt with being medically trained, thriving, but still living under apartheid as well.
Yeah. So we're going to play out with Don't Answer, which of course is your latest single. If someone's looking to find you online, on social media, where can we find you?
I think on every platform, Joya Moy. It's Joya.